Hello and welcome to our podcast series where we connect with top marketing leaders to talk everything about data, AI, technology, and customer experience. I'm your host, Ankush Agarwal, for this episode. Today's episode, we are focusing on the rapidly evolving insurance landscape. And the topic for this podcast is Future Ready Insurance Winning the Customer in a Digital First World. And today, for this particular podcast, we are joined by Mr. Gaurang Thosani. Gaurang is the head of digital marketing and e-sales at Royal Sundaram General Insurance, and he has over 15 years of experience in digital marketing. Throughout his extensive career, he has been instrumental in the success of renowned organizations like HSBC, Future Generali, and ICICI Prudential. His profile highlights a proven track record of driving business growth through innovative strategies. One of his notable achievements being at Royal Sundaram, where he has led a campaign that resulted in 50% decrease in the cost of acquisition for new policy holders in just 6 months. Additionally, he mentors new age digital startups to streamline their business and enhance their online presence. Gaurang, it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you so much, Ankush. Thank you so much.
So, let's start with the like a very broad picture, big picture, I would say. The Indian government has recently announced 100% FDI insurance, and I want to pick your brains. There would be more global players, more capital, and more likely aggressive digital strategies that are going to enter the market. From your vantage point, how does this shift in the landscape change the game? Will the primary challenge be now only competing on the product, price, or the speed and intelligence of understanding customer experience would be important?
Uh, it's going to be all of that, to be honest. Right? It's the if you look at the from a global landscape perspective in insurance, India has about 60 plus insurance companies, both life and non-life put together. US has about 6,700 plus companies. China has about 200 plus companies. So, and today the penetration of insurance is also not that great, right, in the country. So opening up the sector, getting more FDI or getting more new partners coming in, that means it's really good for the customers, good for the country from an insurance security perspective, right? With nothing wrong in it. But if we have to look at the impact of uh, this, is where from a customer perspective, that means there'll be a lot more sachet products will come in or new products will come in, which will be beneficial for the customer. But that also means that there are a lot of insurance companies, a lot of products means a lot more confusion as well, right? For a customer to define, understand the need, and basis that finalize a product, uh, it may become a little difficult for customers to choose which product because the options are going to be like huge, right? But also for insurance companies, it is there a challenge? Maybe yes. But for a legacy company like Royal Sundaram, probably where the processes are set, there's a good understanding of the market, good understanding of the segment, the customer behavior, or customer needs, right? Um, I don't think it will impact as much. And over a period of time, I do see uh, uh, happening would be that the customers or the actually the insurance, the new players may come, they might start working together with some other company. There'll be a lot of amalgamation that will happen, right, over a bit of time, maybe not immediately. But this is really good for the industry from customer perspective primarily, for sure.
Got it. Got it. So, just picking like from the point of customer needs. Now, customer needs is very different when it comes to even in the insurance space. If you see general insurance, life insurance are two different ball games. And unlike banking or life insurance, where the relationship is kind of long term or maybe emotional in that sense, general insurance is looked upon as a transactional, where there is a, for example, for a motor insurance, there is a mandated it's mandated by law. You have to be like annual, like it's a low engagement annual transaction, that kind of thing. Now this creates a paradox. Like, how do you build a memorable and loyal uh, like customer or a memorable experience for the customer when you are speaking to them just for a year. So, what's your philosophy in creating these meaningful engagement in these short transactional windows?
So one is it's not actually very transactional. From the perspective of does the customer, while has to renew policy every year,
Mhm,
doesn't mean that the customer keeps changing the insurance partner also. Right?
mhm,
Doesn't mean that. Right? But what you're saying is very true from a transaction perspective. Usually, uh, the key touch points between customer and insurance companies is when they buy the policy, when there's a renewal due, and when there's a claim, primarily. Right? Now, traditionally, this is what has been happening, but there has been a lot of change that has happened for quite some last few years, is where um, insurance companies are also looking at engaging with the customer. Right? Now, this engagement, when I talk about, it's primarily not just to be top of mind, but it's an engagement very contextual level, value led, right? We are moving basically beyond the transactional touch points to like life cycle led nudges, where uh, can we go and tell the customer, if you have a claim, please click on this link and file a claim, or call this number and inform us about a claim, and we will support you the best possible way that we need to, right? So that you as a customer are happy. Um, this is something which is, as an insurance sector, what we are moving towards, right? And the key is to basically make insurance feel like less like a contract and more like a safety net that understands and evolves with the customers. And if you look at, uh, we always, as a marketer, we always talk about omni-channel. Uh, I think it's time to move beyond the omni-channel, which I personally feel like that's omni context, right? Where the context or the experience that the customer gets on any of the channel. Because today now we have call centers, we have bots, we have website, automated calls. Now all these touch points, or the branches, physical branches as well. In all these touch points, can we ensure that the context is kept common across, or there is a lot more, um, not just a bit of a transactional, but an understanding. For example, usually we know that we have to file our taxes, right? So when it comes to health insurance, all of us need a tax certificate from the health insurance company. Now, if for me I have to file my taxes, say, or submit everything to my organization, say in the month of January, but for you it could be February. Now I know I have this data for last few years, right? Can I contextually send you a message saying last year you took you wanted the tax certificate for your health insurance in the month of January? Would you want us to send it to you right away? This, I mean, no, it says yes, and we just WhatsApp it to the customer or email it to the customer, right? Uh, this is what the engagement means. Right? It is more contextual to customer, and when they need it. This is where uh, the sector is also moving, evolving towards.
got it. So if I'm hearing you right, you want to say that there has to be one continuous conversation that has to happen with the customer, whether it's online or whether it's offline, and everything needs to be connected in that sense, whatever journey, wherever
Absolutely.
started. So now that springboards me perfectly to the next question, which is about the phygital experience that we talk about. Uh, your new MD, Mr. Seshadri, also mentioned that Royal Sundaram is a phygital insurance insurer, and you have over the time also validated that fact and have maintained that Royal Sundaram is a phygital insurance leveraging both agents and the digital networks. Um, Now, how do you empower your agent network with the digital insights you're gathering and conversely feed on the ground knowledge back to your digital strategy?
Right. So, rightly put, insurance as a segment is more of a digital segment, right? A lot of customers at times they discover a product digitally, but they may still choose to buy offline through an agent or through a branch or through a physical network. Now that's their choice, and also that gives them the comfort. That is how they want it. and hence we have a network which is more like a very absolutely a physical network, but the discovery of the product is obviously digitally, right, done. Now even when a customer goes to a branch, it's not like customers to always fill up a manual form, right? There can be a tab or there can be a digitized process for the customer.
Mhm.
So in that sense, it's more of an amalgamation of digital and the physical world together, right? And it's blurring lines probably every single day now going forward, right? And when it comes to uh, the agents getting the information, as a as an organization, we are evolving, right? Do they have information about the customers? Yes, they definitely have information about the customers. They also have their own applications that we have built for the agents to use so that they can buy, renew, or support with any other requirement of the customer, right? So these apps do give them that information. Uh,
Mhm.
but are these apps are the best in the world, or is there no need for improvement? No, I would not say that, right?
Mhm.
Because it's a continuous improvement, continuous process of improving the processors or a tech or an app for agents or for customers, keeping in mind the evolving needs, right?
Mhm.
And that's what we are focusing on, and that's what we are doing. Like probably every single day, we look at the whole thought process is how can we improve the experience of the agent, the intermediary, and the customers or the direct customers, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I would say for that. Yeah, and there are lots of tools available today. So yeah,
Mhm.
it makes their life easy.
Got it. So when you say there's a lot of tools available and insurance being a very regulated space, I want to just double click on that when you are building your ecosystem, the MarTech ecosystem or the entire digital marketing ecosystem, how important is privacy when you like where do you place privacy going forward? Because data is now everywhere and people are getting so sensitive about their own personal data. And so, I mean, for a marketer, they need more data, but there is a paradox again here.
True.
So, what's your viewpoint there?
So to be honest, whenever we are looking at a new application or a new process, right? The first thing that we look at is infosec. Is
Hmm.
the From infosecurity perspective, that is one of the key pillar for the organization today, right?
Hmm.
No application, no processes are given a green light until they approved by infosec team. That is how important is the data security or the customer's information or any other information that we have today in our systems, right? And that is kind of importance that we give it to that. It is not, obviously it is regulated and hence we need to manage it, but it's not just that. Today, each one of us working in Royal Sundaram are also customers for some other brand, are also customers for Royal Sundaram brand as well, right?
Right.
So for us individually, our info is really important and we don't want that to get out, right? Similarly, uh, if that's what I think for myself, and that's how we are uh, we are inclined to think about the same way for our customers and for our intermediaries as well, right? We do not. I mean, the values of the organization, the way we are as an organization, right? The values very clearly say that what you would not do for to yourself, you wouldn't want to do that for the customer as well, right? So it comes from that part, right? Yeah.
Got it. Got it. You also talk about the simplification of insurance for the end customer. And can you just double click on that and explain to us does that mean and what is it when you say that simplification of insurance in that sense?
Certainly. So when it comes to simplification, it's actually a two-pronged approach that we normally follow. One is during the discovery stage, the information that we are making available for the customer to go through is one way simple to understand, right?
Okay.
The Usually people say that uh, read between the lines when it comes to insurance or read the TNCs. You never know what's going to happen. But so we have simplified the entire process of discovery. It's the product, the benefits. It is the TNCs are very clearly and cleanly made available to the customer, right? They're doing the discovery phase. Now, when doing the buy process, right? Uh, our journeys are simplified. We're not asking customer. I mean, I remember. I don't know if you remember. Earlier, when we used to open bank account, it used to be like a thick book of the form would be really thick, it,
Yes.
almost like a book. We don't have that anymore, right? When you open a bank account, I mean, it's simple. Just enter your details and do your KYC, and your account is open. And it's exactly the same way when it comes to insurance. It's that simple. Today, when you want to buy a car insurance, you just enter your vehicle number, you get a quote.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to enter any other details. Right? Once
Correct.
you get a quote, you select the add-ons that you want, and then you
Mm-hmm.
buy. You basically just make the payment. It's
Mm-hmm.
that simple. And the most important thing is before so there's something called CIS, right, which is a confirmation, a customer information sheet, which a customer has to accept, which basically has all the details of the product that you just bought, right? And in case you do not accept that, we do not give you the policy, right? You get a refund because it is that simplified, right? Information is given in a way where people understand exactly how, and it's not just one language. It's multilingual CIS copy that we now share with customers. So uh, giving the right information during a discovery stage or a buy stage, and also post sales as well. It's very important for us as a brand, and this is exactly how we are making the entire process so simplified
Mm-hmm.
from a customer perspective.
Got it. Got it. That's good one. That's a good point. So now let me come back to that phygital point that we were discussing and building on
Sure.
that idea of digital, that orchestrated phygital journey. It feels like having a unified view of the customer, like a fundamental shift from the business from being reactive to proactive. Like the needs of the customers are as such that we want to understand what they are going to do in the future, and what they intend to do. So, from your leadership perspective, how do you champion this use of data for not just marketing campaigns, but as a driver of proactive customer engagement?
Absolutely. Totally agree with you on this point. When it comes to bringing the data, right, it's not just the marketing, or actually, it's not just the top of the funnel where you're looking at a customer coming in your website and starting or creating a quote. It's actually from uh, that point to visitors to probably buy, and from buy to post sales whenever a customer is coming back for a service request, probably, right? And this is where the omni context comes in picture, right? Everything is looked in together so that it's so well enveloped, actually, that a customer gets the right information the right time, right? If customer has a query today, the example that I gave you earlier, which was where, because last year you bought a policy, you asked for a certain document at a certain time, which is a cyclical thing. Yeah? You go back to that and same point and say that, you did it last time, we want to do this for you. Right? It is not just from an engagement perspective, but uh, having that data sets available, most important. So it's first is the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keeping all the data in one place, so that, exactly, that's why CDP is in place, right, today. That's why there's a requirement of CDP. It basically brings all the data together at a customer level. A customer might have 5 policies, so each policy detail is also mentioned there, and all the other relevant data, which is not just related to the policy, but all other sets of data, the one that we have, everything is combined together, kept together. This is just data. Like 10 years back, we used to talk about data is the king. Right? I don't know if you heard, but I remember during my time, 10 years back, 12 years back, we used to say that data is the king, data is the king. I said, now data, while data is important, but now insight is the king,
Correct.
right? Because insights of certain customer, the database of the data that I have, is going to help me engage. So it's
Correct.
basically data insights, which leads to engagement,
Correct.
right? This is where clearly CDP comes in picture, and it it's a very important pillar of the entire engagement that we want to build for customers. Right? You cannot
Mm-hmm.
build engagement for the customers if you do not have data, if you do not have insights.
Mm-hmm.
You are like you have a empty bowl. You're trying to have a soup from it, so not possible.
Got it. Got it. And finally, Gaurang, looking ahead, I mean, as a leader in this space, no conversation is like complete without the mention of AI. Because, and as a leader, as I mentioned, as a leader in this space, what capabilities do you need? Will define a successful insurance marketer using AI, and the role of AI basically in these winning capabilities, if you can.
Uh, AI, the use cases of AI are actually the entire, at the every stage of the funnel, from discovery to buy to post sale services, at every stage, right? Uh, Today, I mean, when we spoke about the three pillars, right? Data, insights, and engagement. Now, assimilation of data, you need AI, right? It makes your life easier, simpler. In creating insights, AI makes your life simpler and easy. Today, if I have to go through a 10 sheet Excel sheet, it's going to take a lot of time, like a lot of hours for me to go through and understand, remember, recollect, and make some insight out of it, right? Versus upload that to a Gen AI bot and it gives you the insight that you're looking for. You keep asking questions, you keep getting answers. Or the graphs, if you want to create, right? AI helps you do that, right? So from the all three pillars perspective, even engagement, actually, to be honest, AI tells you when to engage with Gaurang, when to engage with Ankush, because our touch points are different, right?
Right.
For me, WhatsApp works. For
Yeah.
you, probably a call works,
Right.
right? So this intelligence, creating segments and engaging with the customers the right time, the way or the channel that the way they want us to. AI is everywhere. And uh, 10 years back or 5 years back, when the AI, we didn't even talk about AI, it was still happening. But
Right.
it took a lot of hours,
Right.
right? And it was may not be at the real time basis, or the logics may not always be correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now we are probably looking at a more perfected process or a way of doing the entire data mining to insight generation to engagement. Yeah,
Right, right. Also, with the AI, I think now it's beyond that, where AI is assisting, just AI is also taking decisions. So the
yeah,
agentic AI thing,
absolutely true.
the era of
Yeah,
agentic AI again, and again, as you mentioned previously, the data becomes very, very important here because AI is as good as the data you feed into that.
true.
So so I think now that brings me to the final question, which is where do you see successful again, like the insurance market or its successful insurance in the like a marketer in the insurance industry in the next 3 to 5 years? What do you think will change? What do you think will remain same?
Oh, with influx of AI and agentic AIs, I totally feel everything is going to change, from product creation to looking at the distribution channels to uh, creating content to
Right.
nudges to the customers, every level. AI is going to change the way we work. I'll give an example. When, like probably on 30 or 40 years back, probably when computers were introduced in India, right? Primarily for creation of creators.
Mhm.
Before that, everyone used to draw ads using hand. They used to do it by themselves, like paper, pen, colors, and so on, right? I know one of my aunt, uh, she, for her, that the shift was
Mhm.
very different shift for her, because doing creating some article or the creatives using hands to a
Mhm.
computer, right? That was a shift that I experienced during that time, right? This is the same shift that I'm experiencing today again at a different level though, where AI is going to change a lot of things for a lot of people, right? For account keeping, from earlier days, keeping books, to everything being on an Excel sheet now, or
Mhm.
some, you know, bookkeeping applications. It's so different, and it's so easy today to get the analysis versus account book, a physical
Mhm.
book. Similarly, today we are looking at AI changing the way we live our life. It's not just how do we do a business, right?
Right.
AI is going to change the life of the customer. Today, my customers are experiencing AI in lot many ways than just insurance today, right?
Right.
There, uh, to be honest, if you look at before the era of Google's and the search engines, the
Right.
discovery of a product was I go to a shop, the shopkeeper will tell me something, I will rely on his information and his the trust that I have with him. I said, okay, this person is telling me this is a good product, I'll buy it. The shift it shifted from that one-on-one physical intermediary led discovery of a product to Google search. We started discovering products or understanding the products or getting more information on products on search engines. Now that is shifting to AI bots, right? Today, if I want to have I have a question, I just ask Chat GPT. I'm not always searching on Google, right?
Right.
So that shift has already happened.
Right.
If it's, I mean, it's not just me or you, but it's actually in the industry or in the people at large are doing this,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
And if that is what is happening, that's when they are being they're consuming AI today, right? And and they have a certain requirement or the expectation from the AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what all of us are going to use, or we already started using. How can we align uh, our tech or our processes to their requirement or to their expectation, right? Which is going to be the key. All of us are going to, are we today, everyone is talking about AI. Everyone is doing something or the other in AI bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be about aligning our tech or our AI to their expectation in the end. And which
Okay.
is where, again, I would say data comes in. It's a big piece there, data
Yes.
and then insights, right?
Right. And also for the marketer, also there is a lot of like agility required, and there is a lot of change management that's going to happen because in the next 3 to 5 years, especially for a marketer, he has to do a lot of things, and he has to tackle with a lot of things. He's just not like a typical marketer, but he needs to be a blend of data scientist, maybe a brand storyteller, and a customer psychologist in that sense.
A prompt engineer as well.
Prompt
So,
engineers. Yeah, I
yeah,
think the best prompts gives you the best results also.
absolutely. So, yeah, any and every role of a marketer is going to evolve. Uh, we cannot stick to just knowing one part of it, right? Yeah, as a marketer, we need to understand exactly the way you put it, right? We need to understand data. We need to understand, be able to get insights out of it, be able to use that to engage with the customers, be able to create contextual communication for the customers, for the right engagement. Uh, it, it's it's evolving and it looks promising and it's very exciting as well, actually, right? From it's going to change the way we wake up in the morning or the way
Mm.
we sleep, right? So it's going to be fun. I'm absolutely looking forward to that era of where we breathe, eat, sleep AI.
And that's a powerful note to end on, I would say. So, this brings us to the end of this wonderful conversation. I think if there is one key takeaway for me and the audience, I would say the future of insurance marketing is no longer about optimizing individual transactions. It's about orchestrating a long-term trust-based relationship using the rich story of the customer data, which we talked about in deep, but not just to sell, but to simplify their lives and provide a proactive value. And that's, I think, a profound shift that's going to happen in the insurance space and
Absolutely.
any space which
Yeah.
involves customers. So,
Yes.
thank you so much, Gaurang, for your time. I think it was wonderful to have you. Wonderful, very kind of you to take out this time and to talk to our audience on behalf of the entire Lemnis team. I am grateful to you.
Thank you, Ankush. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.